Catholic Mass Readings and Reflections. July 7, 2023. Feast Day of Saint Ethelburg. First reading. Genesis chapter 23. Verses 1 to 4, 19. Chapter 24. Verses 1 to 8, 62 to 67. The span of Sarah's life was 127 years. She died in Kiriath-arba, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham performed the customary mourning rites for her. Then he left the side of his dead one and addressed the Hittites. Although I am a resident alien among you, sell me from your holdings a piece of property for a burial ground, that I may bury my dead wife. After the transaction, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Abraham had now reached a ripe old age, and the Lord had blessed him in every way. Abraham said to the senior servant of his household, who had charge of all his possessions, "Put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not procure a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I live, but that you will go to my own land and to my kindred to get a wife for my son Isaac." The servant asked him, "What if the woman is unwilling to follow me to this land? Should I then take your son back to the land from which you migrated?" "Never take my son back there for any reason," Abraham told him. "The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and the land of my kin, and who confirmed by oath the promise he then made to me, I will give this land to your descendants. He will send his messenger before you, and you will obtain a wife for my son there. If the woman is unwilling to follow you, you will be released from this oath. But never take my son back there." A long time later, Isaac went to live in the region of the Negev. One day toward evening he went out in the field, and as he looked around, he noticed that camels were approaching. Rebekah, too, was looking about, and when she saw him, she alighted from her camel and asked the servant, "Who is the man out there, walking through the fields toward us?" "That is my master," replied the servant. Then she covered herself with her veil. The servant recounted to Isaac all the things he had done. Then Isaac took Rebekah into his tent. He married her, and thus she became his wife. In his love for her, Isaac found solace after the death of his mother Sarah. Responsorial Psalm. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. Gospel. Matthew chapter 9. Verses 9 to 13. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the customs post. He said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. While he was at the table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat with Jesus and his disciples. The Pharisees saw this and said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" He heard this and said, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. Go and learn the meaning of the words, I desire mercy, not sacrifice. I did not come to call the righteous but sinners. Reflection. Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? Birds of a feather flock together. The Pharisees may not have been familiar with this expression, but the attitude they show towards Jesus' association with sinners reflects the essence of the saying. By association, they feel a revulsion for Jesus in the same manner they are revulsed by sinners. Jesus teaches them a new mode of thinking. Sinners are befriended, not to partake of their sins, but rather to teach them a new way of life. Somebody has to associate with them if they are to be given a chance to renew their lives. Exclusion does not contribute to the uplifting of the community. Somebody has to go to the rejected, the maligned, the wayward, the excluded, and the dejected to offer them hope, counsel, joy, direction, and salvation. Jesus teaches the Pharisees an innovative paradigm for following God. Do not be righteous for your own sake, but learn to uplift others also.